All right, so today, you guys, is a big day. I am so excited. If you've been following along with our weekly webinar series, you know that we talked about how to do keyword research. We've talked about how to write a wonderful blog post, and we gave you freebies for both of those things, and one of them was actually a blog post template. So if you haven't grabbed that, then I have links throughout the webinar. You can grab them and they'll be in the description below if you're watching the replay. So now that you've already launched yourself into the blogosphere, what do you do with your content? So today I'm going to unpack my secrets for you on how you can actually use Pinterest for business, okay? Now, I know a lot of you are going, but I'm not a business, I'm just a musician, or I'm a personal brand, or I have a blog, or whatever. I'm gonna encourage you. We are gonna think about Pinterest in terms of business today, because that is what you need to be considering yourself. If you wanna make money online and you wanna actually get your content out into the world, think of yourself as a business, and it's going to go way better for you. So, just a fun little fact, you can get a free trial of our favorite Pinterest scheduling tool. I have that link for you in this webinar. So just wanted to let you guys know, if you're looking for a tool, I'm gonna give you all of my best ones in this webinar, and you can get a free trial of it. And you can use our link down in the description or later in the webinar if you're watching live. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're using Pinterest as a business account. There are two options when you're using Pinterest. Number one, you can use it as a person, and it's amazing. I love Pinterest. If you don't know about Pinterest, I'm sorry. You're going to lose hours of your life to the internet after finding it. It's awesome. You want to use Pinterest as a business account because it gives you access to so much more analytics, data, information, and things that are going to help you actually get your business off the ground and get your content seen, okay? So how do you even do that? Well, if you don't have a Pinterest account, like I said earlier, say goodbye to the next few hours of your life, because it will consume you, because it's amazing. But you can go to pinterest.com/sign up, and you can use create a business account right there down at the bottom. That's what the little window looks like. Or you can convert your personal account, and this is the steps on how you do that. I'll have them all written out in a description later, but if you just screenshot this slide, it'll give you the exact information that you need to convert over to a business account. It is extremely easy to do, and I'm gonna show you how to even make sure it's linked to your website properly through Weeknet website. All right, so the second thing we wanna do, we're gonna spend a lot of time on this section right here, because this is one of your more important sections. So I used one of my brand new blogs that did not even have a Pinterest account until yesterday, because it launched just a couple of weeks ago. And so now I'm ready to start putting blogs out. I've got enough content. I feel confident. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I only have 5 or 6 blogs, guys. So you don't have to have 25 blogs before you launch. So just keep that in mind. You just 5 or 6 blogs and you're ready to go. You want to optimize your profile. Here are some of the essential places that you need to add keywords to. You need to put those in your profile name, in your description, and on your featured board. So where are all of those places? I'm glad you asked. Your profile name is right here, so you want to change that image and make sure it's your logo, or that it's a really good headshot of you personally, because people connect with people, right? So I chose my logo because I wanted people to kind of get familiar with my brand. My display name has a keyword in it. So keto diet for beginners meal plan is actually a keyword that gets 11,000 searches a month or something like that. So I want my Pinterest profile to actually show up really high for that result, because I actually have a meal plan for people that are starting keto. In my about your profile section, this is where I added, again, keywords, and I let people know I had a freebie on my website. Now, I don't have to put my website domain in there. I did that to kind of give you guys an example of what you can do. Your website domain is actually going to go in a different spot, and we're going to talk about how to claim your domain so that it's yours and it's connected to your Pinterest, and it'll give you way better analytics and insights, but I put it there because I don't have mine claimed yet. So I wanted to put it in there. Once it's claimed, I'll remove that and I'll say, get the meal plan on my website at the link below and put like a little emoji pointing down, okay? All right, so the next place, I want to add my thing to my featured boards, okay? So I went in and just created one board, and I called it Keto Diet for Beginners, literally, like just use the keyword and did that, okay? And then what I did was I went ahead and put that featured board in my first slot. It's just a drop down, you click on it, and then you select the board that you want to do. Now, I'm going to show you how to create a board in just a minute. So if you don't have a board that you can feature, no problem. Just wait a couple minutes in the video and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So you might be thinking, oh, I need a little bit of help with this step. I get you, no problem. This is where you're going to use the keyword research blog for this first part, okay? So I want you to actually go to weeknightwebsite.com/how to do keyword research for free, and the link will be down below in the description. But I want you guys to actually use that first. That is your first step on everything, on your website, on your blogging content, on your pages that you want people to land on. Even your landing pages should be keyword optimized, and on your Pinterest profile. And the good news is that Pinterest operates like a visual search engine. It is not a social network. People think that Pinterest is a social network. It is very, very not social. It is very much search oriented, and you will get a little bit of interaction from people, a little more than you would from, say, Google. But if you think of Pinterest in terms of a search engine, it changes your perception of how you put your content online using Pinterest. So I want to encourage you, think about that as you're getting ready to write your blog content, do the keyword research, and use Pinterest as an inspiration point for you. So number 3, now we've got our profile all set up, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to claim our website. This is, again, one of those business features that you only get access to when you have a business. So you can't actually use this unless you have a business profile. Wink, wink. That's why we did step 1 and got ourselves a business profile, okay? So how do you even go about claiming your website? Well, back in that settings page that we were just on, there's a little button right over here in the corner that says claim. Now, once you click on that button, you're gonna see this little pop-up. It'll come up right here. All you're going to do is click on this add HTML tag. Easy. It's super easy, okay? Once you click on that and you say, this is the tag I want to use, you're going to copy this information. And now comes the fun part. We're going to go to our Weeknight website. Or if you don't have Weeknight website and you just use WordPress, then you can use this on WordPress as well, okay? So you're going to copy this tag right here, and you're going to hop on over to your Weeknight website dashboard, scroll down until you see appearance, and don't click on appearance, just mouse over it, and then scroll down and click customize, all right? Once you click customize, it's going to open a completely new window. This window is the settings for your theme, okay? So this is going to actually be, if you've done your Weeknight website already, then you know about customizing your headings and your buttons and things like that. This is also the place that we're going to add the code for the website, okay? Once you've opened up that website, the customized settings, you're going to open code, and then it's going to pop open a new window, and you want to click on head code. All right, I know there's header code and head code. Click head code, okay? That button right there. And then all you're gonna do is stick your code that you just copied from Pinterest into this box right here, and it's gonna look like a big old jumble of numbers, no problem. And then you're just gonna hit the publish button. Now, once you've done that, all you're gonna do is go back to Pinterest and say, okay, I'm done, I did that, and you're gonna click the submit button. And Pinterest is then gonna go visit your website and say, okay, they had access to actually add this to the head code of their website, meaning they probably own this website 90% of the time, right? Because who else is gonna go in and add a head code for Pinterest for you? Nobody. Now your profile is verified. Now your website is verified, and it's going to show up on your profile, and nobody will be able to take your website and be like, oh, that's mine. So that's really good news. Your website belongs to you on Pinterest. So everything that comes from your website, every pin that comes from your website is actually going to be accredited to you as your content. Fabulous. Exactly what we want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add new pins to our profile. And this is where it gets a little sticky for people because they don't know how to put their content on Pinterest. So when you go to Pinterest, it looks a little crazy. It looks a little like, oh my goodness, there's all these pins everywhere. There's all these things happening. How do I put my stuff on there? How do I get my website content from my website and put it on Pinterest and say, hey world, look at me. You're going to scroll to the upper right-hand corner of your main window on Pinterest, and all you're going to do is click this little plus button and click Create Pin. I know, so easy, right? Well, this is what I want to talk about because there are a few steps here that I want you guys to be aware of. So the first thing you're going to do is on this left-hand side, you're going to add your image, okay? Now, you may not know this, but Pinterest actually has the ability to add video as well. My recommendation is to be really careful when adding video because video tends to go this way where it's a 16:9 ratio, so it's longer. You want something that's taller on Pinterest, okay? So if you are gonna use video, my recommendation is that you record something for like an Instagram story and then save that Instagram story to your phone and then use that Instagram story, like, you know, airdrop it to your computer or put it in a Dropbox, someplace you can get at it, and then upload it to Pinterest that way if you're going to do video. So there's my pro tip for you for the day. So make sure that your images meet all of their qualifications, which are right down here, right there. They tell you, like, don't have a huge image. We don't really love that. You know, make sure it's compressed and beautiful. And then you're going to want to add your title, okay? And this is the title of the piece of content that they are going to go to. Again, we want keywords, and I'm going to show you an example of this all filled in once we go through all these little sections, all right? Then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to go down and you're going to add all of your description, all right? So why should somebody click on this article? What's important about it? Why do you have better information than the next guy? So click and add all of your information and add a couple of hashtags, just two, maybe 3, okay? Pinterest has started implementing some hashtag search features, but it is not as popular on this network as it is, say, for instance, on Instagram or even on Facebook, okay? So use it sparingly because people are not quite all in on the hashtag train yet on Pinterest, okay? Then you're gonna add your destination link. So for my example, this will be actually the link that my blog is hosted at, okay? So it'll be like ketoisforgirls.com/keto for beginners, right? And that's my blog title because I actually did the keyword research first, and then I set everything up based on that keyword research. So I'm writing for that key term, okay? And then you're going to go up here into this corner, and I'm going to move my Zoom window out of the way for those of you that are watching the video. We're going to go ahead and select our board, and then we're just going to click publish. Okay, now I do want to note that there is the ability to actually publish this later on if you need to, but I just want to give you guys the option. So this is what my pin turned out like. All right, so I made this image and I put my information on the image. It's really clear, it's bright, it kind of pops off the page. And what I did was I added keto diet plan for beginners, free meal plan included. So that free meal plan combined with the keto in there, it actually is another search term. So I optimized for 2 search terms because it had both of those things in there. All right, so want to learn how to do keto the right way, blah, 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 blah. And I added my 3 hashtags. Okay, I got a little crazy, did 3 hashtags. And I put in my URL down here at the bottom, keto diet plan for beginners. And then Keto Diet Plan for Beginners is the board that it's going on. So there's no question, this pin is about Keto Diet Plan for Beginners, okay? So you wanna make it as clear as possible when you're putting your stuff on Pinterest, because you want Pinterest to promote you, because they actually are gonna have to figure out what your information is about. And I want you to keep in mind, Pinterest can actually read the text that is on your photo. I know, when I heard that the first time, it blew my mind. So keep that in mind. Put your keywords on your photo. It will really help you, I promise. And I want to mention, it's so okay for you to create multiple pins for one blog post, okay? It is totally acceptable and even encouraged when you're blogging or you're doing a podcast or anything like that that you're promoting on Pinterest. Create multiple images, and I'll get more into detail on that later. All right, so you'll notice down at the bottom, there is this little section that says publish at a later date. This is a newer feature that Pinterest has just started implementing within the last 6 months, and it is a really fun feature. I use it all the time. It's great. But if you're scheduling a high volume number of pins, it can be a little bit glitchy, all right? So I personally, this is tip number 5, schedule my pins in advance, all right? Now, a lot of people are going to ask, and I can hear it now, how do you even do that? And how many do you schedule? And when do you schedule them for? Well, this is my favorite tool. Called Tailwind. It's amazing. You can schedule as much content as you want. Right now, I have about 620 pins in my queue. So those are going out automatically without me having to do anything. And I can actually schedule the repinning of someone else's content. So that's fantastic, because that means I don't have to write all of the content that I put on Pinterest. I do put about 80% my own content and 20% other people's content. Now, I'll tell you where I source all of that content from, because I'm pinning 20 to 30 pins a day. I know it's a lot, and don't feel any pressure to do that. When you're first starting out, it's totally okay to be like, hey, I only do 5 pins a day, and work your way up. That is perfectly acceptable. But if you follow all of the tips and tricks that I have in here, we actually have, my husband helps me manage the Pinterest account because it's that big of a thing for me. And it brings in a ton of traffic for my websites and for my blogs. And we actually have 1.6 million people a day looking at our Pinterest account, which is amazing. Sorry, not a day, a month. That would be amazing. I would love that. But so we have a lot of people that put eyes on our content, and we're getting a lot of traffic. It did not happen overnight. So don't think it's going to happen overnight just because you're using every tool that I use. You've got to be consistent. So the tools are to help you be consistent. The information is to help you really tackle the getting things out there. All right. So this is what the Tailwind looks like on the inside. You can see over on the right-hand corner, those are all of my pins that I have scheduled. I do a mixture of quotes and repins from other people and information from my website, like blog posts and, videos and that kind of thing. So it's a real mix, and these will automatically go out live for me. And the great thing about Tailwind is I said, I want to pin X a number of times per day, and it'll automatically pull up a schedule and be like, this is when you should be pinning then. These are the best times for you to pin. So Tailwind takes a lot of the frustration and time out of my Pinterest marketing energy. I spend maybe about 3 or 4 hours a week just maintaining it and getting it looking good. So just to encourage you, it will not always take forever to do this. You will learn it. And if you guys want a tutorial in our knowledge base just for our weeknight website users on how I use Tailwind personally, let me know, because I'd be happy to record you guys a little tutorial of like how to add your pins to Tailwind. It's really super easy, and I can help you guys with that if you're a member. So, all right. So when you're scheduling, keep these things in mind. Schedule your own content. That's very important. A lot of people think if I only schedule my own content, then I'm being selfish. Yes, be selfish. That is good. You want your own content to be out there. You're the only one that's going to promote your content at first. So get your own content out there. Take it and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, world. Like, let everybody know. All right. Repin other relevant content. Don't just like pick, like, if you're doing music and then all of a sudden you're pinning about dog beds, that's probably not going to connect very good. So pin content that is relevant to what you're talking about already. And then I want you to make sure you use hashtags, okay? So keyword research. Here's the gist of Pinterest. Here's the key that you need to come away with. It is content, and more content. That is what makes the internet world spin, okay? So if you want to be mastering Pinterest and you want to have people looking at your website all the time, churn out that content. It's so important, but make sure it's high quality, okay? Don't just put it out for the sake of putting it out. Put out high quality, really valuable content. People are going to love you for it, I promise, okay? Thank you, everybody, for watching the webinar today. We really appreciate you. Have a great week, you guys. Bye.